All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, Bigfoot Society, you've got the privilege of talking to Mr. Ken Medsker again from the Montana Bigfoot International Research Group. How's it going, Ken?
It's going really good. It's going really good, Jeremiah.
Awesome. And we had talked way back. I looked it up in my records, and it was about 43 or 44 episodes ago, episode 220 back in February, I think, the Montana episode. And a lot of people really liked that one. But you had, I was out on the town Saturday night, and I got a message from Ken, and he was like, we got to talk. It's pretty important. I was like, oh, man, if Ken says it's important, we got to chat. So we set something up pretty quick. But Ken, what brings you back, man? How's it going in Montana?
It's going good. Like I was telling you, I just come out of 11 days in the Swan here in western Montana.
Oh, wow.
We had a base camp. We did recover scat, which I did send out to 4 labs, and they're coded due to confidentiality. I call them Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta, and I'll give you the preliminary results from them. Also, some photographs and video. I couldn't find the one video that was recorded, sent to a photo analyst.
Oh, wow.
And we had a lot happen.
Yeah. Let's start with, so that the listeners are on board with us. Talk a little bit about what exactly the Swan is.
Okay, the Swan, if you go up the Blackfoot River, you swing north through Cedar Lake, Big Salmon, Cedar Lake, it'll take you all the way up into East Glacier. So you can go into Glacier Park there and then on into Canada from there. You'll cross over the divide and you drop into eastern Montana. The Swan, it nestles between the Mission Mountains and the Swan Range, which is the backbone of the Bob Marshall Wilderness. So Gotcha. It is a massive area, a lot of small lakes, streams in there within a radius of 10 miles of the location, which I'm not going to give out because I don't want everybody going in there right now with what's coming. There's probably 10, 11 streams, 9, 10 lakes, small lakes. Now, those are now critical, and I'll explain that when we get to the DNA and what they're requesting, the labs are requesting from me.
Gotcha. So it's not easy to get to this area is what I'm picking up.
Well, you can drive right up through the middle of it. We got a main highway. It's the off-roads. Some of them are good. Some require four-wheel drive.
All right, fair enough. And what was it that first drew you to this area to look for Bigfoot in this area called the Swan, Ken?
Well, 2 years ago, remember the video of the juvenile that came into the camp?
Yes.
That's what Jeff had talked to me about. He had seen footprints and in the snow, just basically in the same area. So we decided let's do our first initial investigation in the Swan. And after that, I return 2-3 times a year. This year is more productive because I spent 11 days.
Gotcha. So where would you like to start, sir? Would you like to talk about who was with you in the Swan, or what the plan of attack in the Swan was, or what would you like to start with?
Well, let's take, I had mentioned in the previous one, the St. Mary's. I was doing field research on my stepson's wife's property.
Okay.
And I sent you the 2 photographs. It was taken off the same trail cam.
Yep.
The top one, anybody that looks at it, you actually see the shoulder and the hair and the side of the neck as it walked up to the camera.
Let me see if I can.
All right, next one.
Yep. Okay. Here we go.
That one. All right. If you see on it, you can see the shoulder and the neck. Now, what really, we didn't see it at first, is the next one. If you look at it and enlarge it, you can actually see the fingernail of the Bigfoot, his arm and hair, and how muscular that arm is.
Oh, you're talking about Is it's in the, let's say if there's 4 quadrants to the photo, the
It's
upper
up
left.
on the left.
Yeah.
Upper left, you see the fingernail.
Oh, I can actually do. Okay. So that's a thing. So usually, Ken, when I get photos like this, I'm like, okay, where's the red circles? But I'm like, I picked up on that before you said anything. I was like, what's going on in that upper left quadrant? That's really, really
That
interesting.
is the definitive proof of Bigfoot on that property.
Man.
There is no if and buts about what that hand is. And as far as I know, this is the first actual photograph of a fingernail of Bigfoot.
Wow. How high was this off the ground?
This trail cam was 7 feet off the ground.
Oh, wow.
And what's really neat about it, it's not a blurry photograph. You can see the hair on the arm, how thick that arm is, the hair on the hand, the shoulder, and everything.
Man, that's wild. That's really crazy. These haven't been shared anywhere, have they?
Except to the group site.
Oh, yeah, right. To the Montana group, of course.
Yeah.
Man.
So yes, your viewers, this is the first time anybody outside the group has actually seen these 2 photographs.
Wow. I'm sure you had these analyzed in certain ways.
Yes. They're more impressive on a 75-inch TV.
I'm sure they are.
Yes, I did. And it's confirmed. It can be the only one thing is Bigfoot. It's not human. It's not a bear. The fact that that's a round fingernail like us, like our human, Homo sapien, pretty much says a story in itself.
Wow.
It's not a claw like you think in a bear, mountain lion, whatever. It's a round fingernail like ours.
I mean, Ken, it's wild because it's like I'm trying to think of things that it could be, and it's like I can't think of alternatives. That is wild, man.
Now you got to realize between that photograph just before that, where you've got the whole shoulder.
Yep, here it is.
There is 7-second delay between that picture and the one with the hand.
Wow.
Where he's reaching towards that camera.
So the camera is focused forward, is 7 feet off the ground. You're seeing the shoulder of something.
Yes. Okay.
And then you said, was it 7 seconds later? How many seconds later was the delay?
7 seconds later, it's pointing, reaching towards trail cam.
Yep. So we got the photo straight on. Then it's reaching towards something. You can see its fingernail, thumbnail. Oh, yeah. Man, that's wild.
Yeah, it's a fingernail. It's confirmed it's a fingernail. It looks like it might be this one, the index finger.
Yeah. Let's go. I'll go back to it.
He's doing this.
Let's go back to it here. There we go. Wow.
So trail cam at 7.5 feet off the ground, at the angle of the hand and everything, he was taller than that. Because it looks like he's reaching down to it.
It's not a bear.
No.
It does. That's not even close to a bear's hand. Like,
right.
That doesn't even make sense because bears have claws. Unless someone is in a Bigfoot costume, like that doesn't even make sense.
You got to remember, this is private property, and I was the only one allowed in there to do field research.
So let's talk. So it's private property. Are there a lot of neighbors around, or is it pretty remote, or what's?
It's pretty remote. There are some neighbors, but they're not real close to this 20 acres. And if you look, you see in that one photograph of the shoulder, you can see how heavy the forest is there, the timber on that property. There's areas where I talked before about the log being thrown at us. Was more open, and that's in a logged out area on the property. But this is what the property, especially down along the stream, looks like.
Wow. Have there been reports of Bigfoot messing around on this property, Ken?
Yes.
Really?
Screaming, Yeah. A screaming, beating on the side of the house and everything.
Oh, you got to tell me about that, dude.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm not in really good faith with his wife right now.
Okay, that's fine. I respect that. Yeah.
No. I because we're doing that night investigation.
Yeah.
She's a major in the military, so she thought she was going to be in charge. And I pointed my finger and says, "There's only one person in charge here, and that's me, and that's not you."
Oh man.
She did. I know. I can't keep my mouth shut. But they sold the property, so now I don't have access. But as far as I'm concerned, and I do have Native American consultants within the group now, and this is exactly what they've seen on a Bigfoot. This is a Bigfoot.
So they have seen stuff that is similar to this in the same region, is what you're saying?
No, this is my Native Americans are Blackfeet, Cree, Arapaho, Apache, Navajo, Sioux, and Cheyenne. They're my consultants. Okay. I turn to the people that, according to their legend and their stories, is Bigfoot was already in North America when they made the crossing on the land bridge.
Really?
Bigfoot was already here. Now, since we talked, they always said there was no primates in North America. This spring, they found small primate fossils in northern Canada. Now they found a larger primate fossils in a basin in Wyoming.
Wow.
So which puts primates in North America. Now there's testing they're doing to try to determine how old these fossils are. Their jaw bones and stuff like that. Is there DNA? We don't know.
Have you sent these photos to any, what we'd say in quotes, Bigfoot experts or anything to have a look at them, or these really aren't out there yet at all?
They're not out there yet.
Oh my goodness.
All right, Jeremiah, you and your group that's going to be watching this are the first to see these two photographs outside the group members.
All right. Thanks, Ken. That's awesome, man. That's rock and roll.
I mean, you look at that. Wow. Tell me, other than a human, a primate, and Bigfoot only have rounded fingernails.
I can't wait for... I know a solid 10 guys that are going to be like, let me at these photos. I want to tear them apart. Like, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, but they're not going to be able to.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Like, that's wild, dude. Yeah.
Yes, nobody in a costume. You cannot do a fingernail like that in a costume. Because if you look real close, you'll see where it's been cracked, the lines and everything.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, they're on the right side of the fingernail. You see the cracks. And then if you really look close, see the cracks on the side.
Yeah.
And then if you look close, you'll actually see lines down the fingernail like ours.
My goodness. Oh,
Go ahead and try to tear that apart.
That's going to be some fun, man. Wow. It's okay. So I know we can't talk a lot about it, but so you're saying that when this person owned the property, they were getting slaps on the side of their house and they were getting vocalizations. Yeah.
Now you got to realize back then, the first field trips where I got that something in a different location, black stooped over, walked by the trail camp. All right. At that time, they had 20 forest fires around the St. Mary's area.
Okay.
And what brought me over there was I honestly think I couldn't get the vocalizations from them. They did their phones inside the house. They're too afraid to go outside. Probably two groups on verbal conflict, a group moving through the area, because this group's a local group. This is their territory. So there was conflict with these two groups, with the males, the alphas.
Two groups of warring Sasquatch or something to that. Yeah. Wow.
And then from then on, they'd hear the screaming at night. something knocking on the side of their house and all that. And then of course, they asked me to go in, which, while the wife was still alive, we went over and we spent I think that was a 3-4 day trip the first time to get a rough area. The second trip was after the wife had passed away. I went over and put out more trail cams. Now I've increased our trail cams to 10 instead of 5. Plus, we have new equipment now. I went ahead and bit the bullet, and I now have a thermal imaging unit for at night.
Oh, okay.
I've got a sounding recording device that comes on automatically when there's any voice sound. Real small, I can put in somewhere. It has an external mic on a 6-foot cord, so I can have the two of them separate. I can basically guide the recorder itself.
Wow. Ken, when you were there for the 11 days, did you see any other evidence that would also, did you see any tracks, anything else that was like, wow, okay, there's, besides this trail cam photo, there's definitely some stuff going on here, besides anecdotal evidence from...
Yeah, like I said, this was in St. Mary's. Now we'll get to the photos from the Swan.
Okay.
They are, let me get to them, because I got them on my laptop. Okay. You really have to look good on, back out of that to the first one, daylight. Let's see. All right, it's the second one. It says muddy at the bottom.
Oh, yep. This one.
No, that I'll get to, because I can't explain that one.
How about this one?
All right. Let's see. Go to the next one.
All right, this one.
All right. Now, if you really look at that,
okay,
and my Blackfeet consultant, he spotted them. I didn't at first. There's one standing upright in the tree, and then down lower is a smaller one looking. If you bring it in close, you can see the eyebrows on both of them. Go over.
It's on the left, right? Yeah.
Straight in there.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, right there.
Oh, man.
And look what's above it. To the right.
Okay. Oh, right here?
Right there.
Wow.
According to the photo analyst, there's possibly another one in there. He can't verify it, but there's definitely 2.
Ken, that's wild.
These were taken during the day. And the trail cam was probably 75 yards away.
So especially the one where it's the first one that got pointed out, I'm not sure what to think of that, man. Like there are people that are going to try to tear this apart super bad, but it's like, I think that it's almost like you can see a face of some sort right there.
And it's a distance. You got to realize.
Yeah.
It's the distance. These aren't taken up close.
Man, that's wild.
Not like that hand and that shoulder. That's close. These are at a distance. My Native American running crane, he's the one that spotted both of those.
Okay.
Now, a little history about him. He has a team on the Blackfeet Reservation in eastern Montana. They do Bigfoot research on the Native American reservations throughout the West. And I have been fortunate enough to be invited this summer to come over and spend 5 days with them doing field research, which I will be doing.
Wow.
I have an opportunity I'm not going to pass up.
Yeah, absolutely.
These guys are my consultants. Their history is a lot farther along than ours. Our knowledge of them.
A question about this photo. Did you try to see if you could figure out exactly how high off the ground that thing that looks like a facial? We're going to get there? Okay.
Okay. We'll now you're going to go down to one. Let me find it.
Okay.
No. We're
Oh,
up to it.
I know which one, this one probably.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
That's just beyond there. I'm 5'9".
Okay.
And if you look straight ahead where that face and everything's at.
Let's see. I'm going to go back and forth.
Straight ahead.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's taller than me.
Man. It definitely is.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't realize that trail cam took a picture of me. That's my youngest daughter that come with me.
Hmm.
So that gives you a good reference point of height.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says. I know what we're dealing with. I agree with Running Crane. It is something there. Is it Bigfoot? We're not going to commit to saying yes.
I wanted to...
Now, if you go down a little bit farther...
Real quick, I wanted to go back and forth between this one
Okay.
and this. Okay, interesting. Yeah, it's almost... Okay, because I'm just looking between the two real quick.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
No, it wasn't.
I don't see it in this one. Yeah.
It wasn't there when we walked after setting the trail count. She's carrying the trail counts you were putting up. There it is.
Man. I don't know, man. That's wild, Ken.
Yeah. I told my members I will not circle anything.
Yeah, sure.
I want them to look, because when they do field research, we see stuff like this. It's not circled. You're looking at it in its natural environment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what the skeptics say. I already had this analyzed. And it come back as a bipedal creature.
Wow. Remind me, this is also on the same property, or this is the different?
This is up in the Swan.
Okay, this is in the Swan.
My 11-day trip.
Okay. Wow.
Now, if we go to after that one with the fingernail, skip the one with my hand.
Yep.
The next one.
Okay.
That was on the side of the motorhome.
So this occurred when you were there at the Swan researching?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, my consultants have said, try to get a comparison.
Right.
So if you look at the next one, that's my hand at the palm of it.
Okay. Let me go back and forth a few times. Interesting. Do you think there's... So where your pinky is, do you think that's more of a thumb?
I think he put his hand just like this.
Let me look at your screen real quick. Okay.
Because the palm would be at the base.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to it. Let me go back to it.
Yep.
It's down at the base here. Kind of under that smiley face. So that would be his pinky, or maybe his left hand. I'm not sure. But we did the size comparison with my hand to show how big it is compared to my hand.
Gotcha. Did you try to lift any fingerprints or anything from it? Okay.
No, I didn't.
Gotcha.
My fingerprint powder is kind of like a rock right now because I haven't used it. So I have to get some more. I've got everything to do fingerprints. And now it's just getting some more, the powder, order some powder so I can dust it. And then I can take whatever that is, something like that I can take, and then freshen off.
So what if you were to measure, let's say, from the length of your your middle finger down to the base of the wrist. Normal size hand, or what are we looking at?
Yeah, let me get a tape measure out in the drawer. Just a second.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, if we take a tape measure from index finger to the base of the palm, a human hand is 7 inches.
Okay. Man.
That's taller than 7 inches.
Yeah, totally.
You're talking 9, I'd say 9, 10 inches.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I would agree with you. And let's see, you can see
the very top. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can make out different fingers there, I would say.
Yes. Now, the unusual thing about it, you had got to it, is we didn't notice it. Let me get to it. The one picture of the side of the motorhome with the cloud.
Yes. This guy?
Right. The motorhome was not running.
Okay.
Okay. Generator was not running. What is that? Right. It was just after that we found the handprint.
So, okay, that's weird. So did you have fog or mist that day?
No.
Really?
I mean, it was so clear. At late afternoon, we got thunderstorms and rain. At night, was so crystal clear, you could actually see part of a Northern Lights, the orange bands dancing across the sky and everything.
Well, Ken, that info doesn't make this any easier. That's weird, man.
What did I tell you before? Do you have more questions than answers?
Yeah. Oh,
we haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet.
So, okay, yeah, before we get to that, so you're saying that this mist was around your trailer and then you found the handprint on the side.
Yes.
I'm sure you got a good look at the handprint. Was it debris or was it a mud, or did you notice anything?
It looked muddy.
Yeah.
And we'd had rain and stuff.
Okay. It definitely has that color, doesn't it?
Yeah, which would make sense. I mean, I've got videos. The rain is so heavy, it triggered the trail cam. And the rain's coming straight down.
Wow.
I went to retrieve the trail cams, and I was soaked from my feet to my chest and how wet it got up there.
Man. That's some wild things. Well, let's answer this question now, because I don't want to get 5,000 emails. Where can people find these photos if they want to analyze them? Because I know that I'm going to get like 20,000 people are going to be like, hey, hook me up with those photos so I can rip them apart.
Well, all photos, they have to get my permission.
Yep. Okay. So it's going to be through you, probably.
Yes. I will be putting them on the domain.
Yep.
Because I'm upgrading the domain we have.
Okay.
And they'll be available on there. But all I ask is be respectful, have an open mind, because we're not all going to see the same thing.
Perfect.
And all this stuff has been sent to somebody who, that's what he does for a business, is analyze photos and videos.
Okay. Okay. So you're dealing with a professional photograph analyst guy as well. Tell me, can you tell me anything about that gentleman, or?
I'll give it briefly. He also does video and photo analysis for the news stations here in Missoula.
Okay.
So he knows what he's doing. And he's really a nice guy. And it's really nice I'm not going to say it because it's called an in. But when my friend talked to him about it, he said, yeah, he'd take a look at it for me.
Wow.
Because he is interested in Bigfoot. So
just say one more time, listeners, I won't have these, so don't come to me. We'll have in the show notes the website for the Montana group and all that good stuff that you can go to, and you can check it out there. But I won't be giving these out to anyone. So
it's like next step. I will cover I think, well, I had one of my members, Stan, join me.
Mm-hmm.
But when he joined us, everything changed. The mountains went quiet.
Really?
Yeah. And according to my consultant, a person can put out a negative energy and things change that fast.
So this is your Native American consultant you're talking about?
Well, I talk to my Native American consultants because they are the ones with the knowledge.
Oh, sure. Exactly. Yeah.
And this is another member from Eastern Montana that have come over.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
He come in on Saturday. He booked really fast on Thursday, and I can't figure that out. There is a video, and I can't find it. He swears it's Bigfoot in the camp. It's not. It's him walking. I've never known a Bigfoot to use a flashlight at night.
Well, I mean,
come on,
Ken, I think that's pretty smart that unless someone might say, oh, well, it's an orb. But if you're pretty sure it's a flashlight, then that's kind of a case closed one. So.
My analyze it's a flashlight.
Yeah.
Plus, I send him my profile and Stan's profile, and Stan's profile matched what was walking.
Wow.
Through the camp.
Oh man.
So this is not done on the fly. Like I said, that's 11 days, and then going through and then sending out everything. Now when he left on Thursday, Friday morning, it's when it got really interesting.
Really?
Yeah. I'm going to describe. I stepped out of the motorhome. You know what hit me? A skunky, rotten.
A what?
Skunky, rotten, decaying, moldy smell that hung in the air for 3 hours. I spoke with my consultant, and he said there was a Bigfoot around that camp, probably standing there watching me.
Wow. Yeah, that's not a good sign when, that type of smell hits you out of nowhere.
Yeah. And then that night, for the hell of it, instead of using my aluminum bat on a tree, I beat on a rock.
Okay.
I did one knock, I got a knock back. I did 2 knocks, I got 2 knocks back.
Really?
Yeah, from south of us.
Oh, no. Wow.
So the other thing, too, you'd hear birds that weren't birds.
Okay.
What sounded like a coyote, but wasn't a coyote.
Can you explain that to me a little bit, Ken?
Bigfoot is known to mimic animals.
Sure.
Birds, coyotes, wolves. They're capable of mimicking other species.
Right.
Like many others, like chimpanzees, that they will mimic humans. Is Bigfoot have the capability? Yes. I'm actually working on a theory. Their tree knocks, is it a form of primitive Morse code? We develop Morse code for emergencies and to send across telegraphy. Is it a form of it? That's the theory I'm working on now.
That's interesting.
There has to be, and even Ronnie Crane agrees, they have to have a way of communicating. Is it through a system like a Morse code that we don't understand?
I mean, I don't think it's out of the question. I mean, who's to say that? I mean, so, boy. Okay, hold on.
Don't get him. I don't want to fill your head too much.
Hold on. Okay, here we go. So, I mean, hypothetically, I don't think it's out of the question where you could have a creature where it's like 1 knock means something, 2 knock means another. Yeah. I know that the Olympic Project has found areas where there was almost like a sentry that was watching the nests, and they found, I believe, rocks that could be used for rock clacking. I don't think it's out of the question that a creature like that could have figured out a communication type style.
Now, Bruce Dunn, which is part of our group, he also has his own group. He has heard a rhythm to not clap. A rhythm.
Really?
Yes. And he's trying to get back in there to try to record it, but there's definitely a pattern to those rocks being hit together.
Man.
I mean, we're in such a new area right now. It's hard to explain. Sometimes you just got to go with your feeling.
Sure. Were you able to record any vocalizations during your time around there?
No.
Okay.
That's why I ordered this real special recorder
Gotcha.
and the external mic, so I can put it away from camp. Now I'm going to be doing like Ronnie Crane, my Blackfeet consultant, said. We're going to try to draw them into the camp.
Okay.
Play music. Put toys out. Because they do like it. Well, I have a whole bunch of ducks because I now have a Jeep Wrangler I tow behind the motorhome.
Right. So the Jeep.
Jeep
guys have the ducks. Yeah.
Yeah, we duck. So
right.
I've got ducks that squeak. So I will be putting ducks out, playing music and everything. Trying to bring them into the camp. Now we'll have 5 trail cams looking into the camp, 5 looking out of the camp.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Have you ever thought of playing audio like baby cries or anything like that?
I did. I tested them here at the house, like the Sierra sounds and all that. I guess the PA system through the CB works really good because I have every dog within 3 blocks barking.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
So I did a little, I wanted to, but the weather didn't allow me to. And there again, I have to be cautious when I'm out there because of my health, the heart.
Yeah, no, definitely. I know we have talked before. So you use Sierra sounds. Something that I'm gonna try when I go back out next, and we'll see what happens, Ken. But a few people were like, "You got to try human baby cries because it does something." You got no response. Okay. Yeah.
Now we sat one night, Kim, myself, and Stan. I put the TV outside. We watched the movie Meg.
Okay.
I mean, what a rough way to go on a base camp, right? So now my question is it possible that one was watching?
Not out of the question.
Not out of the question.
Yeah.
They are very, according to Randy Crane them and others, they are very curious about us.
Yes, absolutely.
If they do not feel threatened by us, they will start coming around. And now I have the advantage. My motorhome has been there enough times; they're used to it.
That's true. If you're using the same one, they're going to be used to it, aren't they?
Yeah.
Are you always out there the same amount of days, or
this is the longest?
Yeah.
This is the longest one.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I planned an 11-day trip this time. My youngest daughter, Kim, come up with me, help me get set up. We put out the trail cams. She's the one you see walking with me to where those 2 are at.
Yeah.
And then my oldest daughter come up on Monday for a couple of days, and then 2 of them come back because little Kim, she had to get ready to start a new job.
Sure.
So I had her with me and that.
Do you guys do anything with putting out like gifting areas or anything like that?
I put 2 apples on top of the motorhome when one was taken.
Okay, interesting. Was it near where the
mist is at?
It was?
Right above that handprint.
Oh, geez, Ken.
All right. On. Now, that window's the window that Bigfoot was smelling my wife 2 years ago.
Oh, right. Oh, my goodness. Huh. Oh, man.
I dare people to dispute this. My response to them, come with me for 11 days and see what happens.
Man.
I challenge him, come with me.
It gets, the more we talked, it does get weirder and weirder. Did you notice any? Let's go down the list. Any like weird breaks in trees or any tree related structures or anything like that?
A couple tree breaks. And I didn't have the camera, my phone with me, which I didn't have my 35 millimeter either.
Okay.
Which I have to start carrying one of them with me.
Definitely. Oh, definitely.
So everything we look at right now is actually based off the trail cams and what I witnessed and experienced. And like I told you, I don't care what people say. I know what I experienced. I've been dealing with Bigfoot for a long time.
Oh, sure.
I'm not an expert. I have knowledge of Bigfoot now.
Mm-hmm.
And every time we go into field research, things are different. This next one, I'm actually building a slide of hairs: human, bear, deer, elk, horse, on slides. I have a microscope with a camera. It's a biological microscope that's electronic.
Okay.
I can look at the hair underneath it. Human hair has a black core.
Mm-hmm.
They say Bigfoot doesn't.
Sure. When you're out in the Swan area, did you notice anything that you would have interpreted as a track or anything of that type of thing?
Well, the problem I had with Stan is he'd take off. And
Okay.
he'd come back and he said he thought he saw a Bigfoot track next to a grizzly track. I can't verify it because he never told me where he was going, which broke a rule, a major rule of the group.
Yeah.
Because if you take off without letting me or somebody know, something happens to you, I have no idea where to look.
So here's so if I'm there and I know there's grizzlies around, I'm probably not going to be doing that, but that's on him. But I can understand why you wouldn't want a guy just going off by himself.
No, we were warned when Kim and I got there the first night, there'd been a big boar grizzly sighted
Really?
a mile north of us. To be aware of it.
Wow. Man.
Now, should we get to the scat?
So yeah, let's keep going. Definitely. Yeah.
All right. We found scat.
Okay.
And it is, let me get out it is approximately 15 inches long.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And about that big around. Straight.
Okay.
I showed my native consultant, and he said the first question was, there any berries in it? And I went, no. It looks like hair. He said, it's not a bear.
Interesting.
Now, that's what I sent samples to 4 labs. And like I told you, they're coded Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and David.
Okay.
The preliminary result is unknown species.
Okay. Oh boy. So really, Ken?
Yes.
Wow. Can you? Okay. I'm going to ask questions and you can shut me down.
What they're going to do is this is the preliminary. They're doing further testing. I will receive a preliminary DNA results from the labs. But right now, 3 of them is unknown species and 1 cannot be determined. I asked him, is it a bear? No. Is it feline? No, it's not in the DNA database.
Can you share anything about what kind of labs they were that you sent them to?
DNA labs.
Okay. So just basic run-of-the-mill DNA labs.
No. Well, let's put it this way. It cost me $500 donation to each one. I put out $2,000 to get the results.
Fair enough.
And they expressed confidentiality. And they also warned me to be real careful who I talk to, because the government doesn't want us to know what's going on.
I know people are gonna ask. So this is not an individual that is dealing with DNA that you sent it to. This is an actual laboratory that is not an individual.
Right. Respected.
Okay.
laboratories.
So that should take care of any questions that are coming up in
Yes.
people's minds right now.
They asked me, well, what about when I first talked to them? I says, well, even the preliminary where I have an idea. And they said, well, you can always send a donation. Sometimes that helps. So I sent,
Right.
You think? So
weird.
yeah, so I did, but they also warned me. Now, 2 of them are sending me equipment to collect water samples from all the streams in that area and give a 10-mile range.
Why?
For eDNA.
Really?
If Bigfoot's there, steps in that water, that DNA is going to be in the water.
Man.
So now I'm waiting for the equipment. Then I'm going back.
Okay, now I know why you were like, we need to chat. Yeah, this is pretty wild, Ken. Man.
And I'm putting you exactly what took place. I told you I'm not out there to be famous or anything, but we're getting the evidence, whether people want to accept it or not.
No, it's like
we're out there doing it.
I can vouch for you because I've been in your group since February, and it's like you're a genuine salt of the earth type guy, and it's like you can tell if someone's trying to like get on, like fill in the name of TV show pretty quick, and that is not the case. You're just trying to figure out what in the world's going on in Montana to do with Bigfoot. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like that article I sent you, that link.
Yep.
Somebody's mutilating cattle out of Great Falls.
Oh yeah.
What's going on?
They've really said undiscovered, unknown species of animal.
Unknown species. Yep, unknown species. Charlie come back as cannot be determined. Further testing needed.
In how many different labs came back with that again?
4.
All 4.
All 4.
And are they in different parts of the U.S. or are they all? Yeah, they are.
4 different locations, and when I sent the samples, I didn't tell them I sent samples to other labs.
Man, that's wild, dude.
Yeah.
How long ago did you find this out?
Just about 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Then I said, when I told you we need to talk, I just found out. I just found out from Charlie the other day. That's one that cannot be determined.
Man.
Need further testing.
So I now I know why you're trying to lock down where exactly it is, because you don't want the Great Montana Bigfoot DNA gold rush of 2023 happening.
Even my consultant, Running Crane, agrees. We're on to something. Is it Bigfoot? We're not going to say yes. We don't know. It may be something else. We don't know at this stage. All we know is we have an unknown species in the Swan Valley.
So here's the thing. So what, I'm sure you looked into this. What other animal leaves a scat that is 15 feet long? You said it's 15 feet long,
All right, now, 15 inches long. Now, you ready for this?
Sorry, 15 inches long. My bad.
I compared it to bear scat.
Okay.
On the road. It didn't match the bear scat.
Man.
Bear scat was in a pile. This is laying on the ground. Like what we would do when nature calls.
That's another good question. So let's talk about that. So, and that's right. We're all adults, so we can talk about this. So, it was kind of laid out in a line. It was not in a pile.
It was laying like if I had to take number 2.
Right.
Sometimes it's like a log. Best way to describe it. It just lays there. This is the way it was. Bear scat I compared to was in a pile.
Exactly.
That's the difference. And talking to a running crane, he agrees. It's not a bear.
So your knowledge of the nature, the animals of Montana, there are no other animals that would lay it out like that.
A bear might,
Okay.
if it got constipated or got stuffed up.
Sure.
But no, most game that I've come across in my years of hunting and trapping and fishing is generally in a pile. It may be a scattered pile, but it's not laid flat like this.
Man, 15 inches long.
Yeah. Now the thing is, your question should be, do I have more of it?
Right.
And I'm gonna say yes, it's kind of frozen. I told my girls that's not a Hershey bar in there or a payday bar.
I was going to say the people that are using the same freezer must absolutely love you, Ken, right now. They must be like, Ken, what are you doing?
Well, I'm following advice by my consultants.
Right.
Save everything you can get.
Yeah. Oh.
Save everything.
I just thought of another thing to ask you about evidence related. Any weird hair or anything?
I couldn't find any.
Okay.
I mean,
gotcha.
The amount, like my US star will tell you, the thunder and the lightning and the rain.
Sure.
It saturated everything.
Okay.
Now, we're still getting rain, but it should slack off. Now that I have the thermal imaging unit, and it's capable of seeing a thermal image up to 300 yards. That's going to depend on how thick the forest is and everything. I've got this new listening device, this recorder.
Okay.
All right. I've got my microscope, the camera come for it. I have to get a new laptop, so it's with me. So I have to download a program into it and into this tower. So when I do the hair, examining hair and everything, I'm looking at it on a big screen. And I can take pictures.
Man.
Yes, we've advanced.
Definitely.
We've had to.
Going back to the scat, how... tell me again where it was found. Was it close to the camp or was it far away?
It was about 50 yards from the camp.
Okay. Interesting.
And that was before Stan arrived, and we never told him about it. Somebody told me not to tell him. Don't sit there in camp and tell me you're an expert when you're physically not capable of going out and doing it.
Right. That's probably a whole different story.
Yeah, we won't go there. I was getting so frustrated with him.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah, but I was so glad when I'm leaving. Oh, good thing.
All right. Well,
but after that's when everything changed. The smell came into the camp. I mean, I've smelt this smell before. And I have no
you're
doubt.
saying the musky smell came back after the individual left?
Yes.
Really? Or was it was for the first time that smell came into play?
Yes.
Wow.
Friday morning. Now, it's the same smell as the one that I talked about in DeBorge at Crystal Lake.
Right.
When the wind was blowing towards me, it's identically the same smell. Skunky, rotten, decaying, moldy. If you got a weak stomach, it's going to turn your stomach. And it lingers. Almost 3 hours it was in camp.
People are probably going to ask, did you take any pictures of the scat?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
But there again, I will be posting all that.
Yeah. I would assume you'd probably want to keep an eye on the Montana crew website that'll probably be posted eventually, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm redoing the domain.
Cool.
Because the company sold to another one. They made it a little more complicated. So I'm having to get used to doing it their way. And that I do now have a staff. Michelle and Sammy Jean works with me to plan these field trips and all that. because I
Man,
can't do this alone. Yes,
no,
we've
you
got
definitely
large.
you wouldn't want to. I'd say after this, man, I would love to. I hope Doug Highcheck gets wind of this photo, the trail cam photos. I would love to see him go after that. Uh, may, maybe he'll get wind of it after this releases. We'll see.
Yeah.
But you know Doug Highcheck from Monster Quest, like he's got a very scientific mind, and he's a great Bigfoot guy as well.
Yeah. These two
Man,
pictures from St. Mary's, you can't dispute. Go
it's
ahead.
I know I can't think of, man. It's wild, dude. It's wild. I can't wait to see people try to go crazy analyzing it
Yeah.
because I know it's
And
going
like
to happen.
yeah. And like I said, you are the first person, other than the very few members in the group, that have seen these two photographs.
Yeah, and thank you, Ken. That is simply awesome. It's a great honor that, I know you've been holding on to these. It's very cool.
Yeah. Well, it proves to me and my consultants, Bigfoot is around St. Mary's. These two photographs, you can't dispute what you're looking at. And this is taken during the day.
Mm,
They're not blurry. Not when you look at it, you can see the hair and everything of the animal.
yeah.
That's a black. And you consider a trail cam at 7 feet off the ground. That creature's taller than that.
Wild. Mm,
And for your listeners who are going to be seeing this, when we do our field research, we don't know. We may not find anything. I've gone out for days, 4 or 5 days, and nothing. But there's always that one time something starts to happen. There is no guarantee we'll find anything. We got lucky. I spent the most time I've ever spent out there, 11 days.
man.
Like I've always said, as long as I got propane and water, I can stay out there.
Some listeners are probably going to point this out, so I'm just gonna
green
throw it out there,
line-
Ken. I'm just
The
gonna throw
green
it out there,
line
Ken.
is a film thing.
Okay, so I'm looking at the date, right?
Yeah.
Okay, can you explain the date?
I didn't know how to set the dates on these trail cams.
Fair enough. I figured
I'm
it was.
just-
I was like, it's probably a user thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. This is the first time I've ever used trail cams. I never used them for hunting or anything. I bought the trail cams for this purpose. So I had to learn. Now the new one muddies, they're even better. Easier to work with. Now they'll take, if this had been a muddy, I'd have had a sequence of 3 photographs back to back on each one of those. The videos, instead of 7 seconds, are 15 seconds.
What was the date that you took the photo?
This was 2 years ago.
Okay, gotcha.
It was just before the wife passed away.
Gotcha.
July is when she passed away this year, so 2 years ago.
All right. So that should take care of because there's probably a few people that were going to jump in the comments and be like, "Oh my god, the date! Look at the date." No, okay.
Yeah.
We talked about the date, guys.
Yeah, all this equipment I'm learning how to use.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I can teach those that come to the field with us to do the research how to use it properly. The thermal imaging unit, the voice recorder, the microscope, the night vision goggles, the sonic listening device. I mean, we've got a lot of high-tech equipment now. Not the upper scale, but we're getting there.
Yeah. Man. That's wild, dude.
That right there says a lot.
It really does, man.
Like I said, the green line is the trail cam itself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And a lot of people will know that, they've seen that occur in different camera things. Man, that is wild. I can't, I'm going to be thinking about that probably for a few days. That's crazy, man.
You'll be thinking about longer than a few days, Jeremiah.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You realize I've had this in my possession for 2 years.
How did you not like throw it out there for 2 years, man?
Because I wanted to make sure what I was. And thinking when I posted it on the group,
Yeah.
the guy asked about the line.
Uh-huh.
So I re-looked at it and realized a cat.
Yeah.
Those two photographs were off the same trail camera.
Gotcha.
And then I checked the time frame. There's 7 seconds between the one before this and this one.
This is this has been a crazy discussion. You have the fingernail, you got the handprint, and you've got the scat with the unknown animal or unknown creature from 4 different DNA labs.
Uh-huh.
Wow, you got a lot of stuff going on for sure.
And we haven't even gotten to the funny light in the sky behind the campfire.
Oh yeah, I've got that video. I've got that video pulled up. If we let's play it. If that's cool. Hold on. All right. So, is there anything you want to say about it before we play it?
All right,
or?
I have that video analyzed. It's not a reflection off the trail cam.
Okay, here we go. What in the world?
Now, the other thing, there is no roads back where that light's at. There is no glass. I thought maybe it's reflection of the fire. But it's the analyzer says it's not. He doesn't know what it is.
I gotta watch it one more time.
It almost looks like it is, but what's it reflecting off of? Yeah.
I don't know, man.
That's beyond, down towards the stream. There's no road over there.
Because it's like, it's almost if you look at the clip again and you notice what's going on in the fire, it's like,
it's reflection. It's a reflection off of something.
But what is it? If there's nothing there, you said there's nothing there, and that doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah. And if you look when the fire, all of a sudden it'll go out, but the fire's still bright.
Yeah.
But then it comes back on. If you watch, it'll go out. What is it? It's unknown. There again, it's an unknown. Right there. See, it's gone. Then it comes back.
Is the video taken through? What is the video taken with again?
That's taken with one of the first trail cams.
Okay.
On a tree looking into the camp.
So there's nothing, no glass
one on
in
the
front
side,
of it.
no, and one back here. They were away from the motorhome. If you look, there's no lights on in the motorhome.
Oh yeah. Man, that's weird.
We don't know what it is. It's almost dancing with the fire. But what's it reflecting off of? That's our question.
Also, if we really want to pick it apart, it looks like there's some weird stuff that happens in the bottom part of the video as well, if you watch it. And I'm not a video guy, but I notice right around, it's coming up. I don't know, maybe it's like bugs, like right there. There's some lines. Maybe it's something to do with the video.
Yeah, it's the video.
Artifacts.
And I noticed in a lot of these videos up there, there's like interference.
Yeah, that's weird,
the
man.
lines. And yet other videos I have doesn't have it. And it's mainly the ones at night. Man. I have 2,100 videos and photos I've been going through.
2,100?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, so a lot of them, the tree movement is set the trail cams off. The girls walking down to get the water or us sets the trail cam off. His dog playing sets the trail cam off. Something has to set those trail cams off. If there's no wind or anything, what triggered the trail cams?
Man, there's so many different mysteries going on in this whole area.
Yeah.
That's weird, Ken.
That's why I keep returning.
I would too. I mean, It would keep bringing me back, dude.
Yeah, each trip is longer.
Okay.
It gets longer and longer.
Yeah.
Michelle and I looked at a new area. If I can get the big motorhome into it, I will. There's one stretch I'm not sure about, but it's a beautiful area. And I'll send you the pictures so you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
It's a big open area. There's an old log deck. So we have firewood right by the stream. But you look upon that mountain and it's all brush covered.
Wow.
If you sat there with a spotting scope of my camera with a telephotic lens and section by section looking, it's an area, I haven't used the drones. It's an area I will be flying the drones in because I do have clear sight. I can get closer with the drones.
I have a feeling there's definitely more to come from this whole Swan area in the future, for sure, Ken. When we last talked,
Jeremiah, I want to also bring this up.
Yes.
The people got to know me up there as a Bigfoot researcher. They started opening up. They started
that's
talking
kind of
about
what I was going to go into. Yeah.
Yes. They started talking. That's keep their names confidential, which I will.
Sure.
There's one I posted on the Facebook of a Bigfoot on Mount Sentinel behind the university. It took the woman 2 years to trust somebody to send it to, as long as her name was kept out of it. And it's not far from Patty Canyon, where a lot of unusual things are taking place right now.
Because I remember from last time we talked, you are you're a guy that people trust, and you're even talking to a lot. I want to say you had said it was like maybe fish and game guys, or people would be talking to you when there would be missing persons.
Yep.
I mean, there's people talking to you about a lot of different interesting things that could be related to Bigfoot in the state.
And in fact, I don't say names. Their names is confidential. It's why the people talk to me.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's really critical if you want to get the information from these people.
Yeah.
Because the minute you mention their names, they can be in trouble.
Oh, absolutely.
So, we started out small. We started our field research on minimal equipment. We're learning every time we go out. We have new ideas we're going to try that my Native Americans have recommended I try to draw them into the camp. And also the warning, if we come to face when don't stare it in the eyes, take one look and look down, because they may take it as a form of aggression.
Really?
If you stare in a gorilla's eyes, he takes it as a form of he gets aggressive. Chimps.
These advisors that you have, are they individuals that have actually had face-to-face encounters, or is this more like this information has been passed down from their elders?
They've had face-to-face encounters.
Wow. In Montana?
In Montana.
Oh, man.
When I go over just to the Blackfeet Reservation east from Montana, Browning. Now, it is closed to whites to do field research there. But because they've come to know me, as long as Running Crane and them are with me, I'm going to be allowed to do some field research.
Wow.
So I do have a rare opportunity here, and I'm not going to pass it up.
Yeah, that's amazing, Ken.
Yeah.
That is very, very cool.
Like I said before, I never know when somebody is going to talk to me.
Yeah. Well, I am simply just blown away by this, man. Like that's a really big deal. Like the whole DNA thing is a really big deal, Ken. Yeah. Oh man, I am. What's the best way for people to keep up to date with, if you find out any more information about that?
I will
the DNA from the water.
Yeah. That all will be on the domain.
Awesome. Okay.
And that's www.themontanabigfootgroup.com. Okay.
Yeah, I'll have it in the show
They'll
notes.
all be being posted there. I'm every time I go out now, I do a daily diary
Okay.
of what's taking place. So I'm writing this all down. Eventually, we'll probably sit down at the computer and type it all out because my writing sucks, to be honest with you.
That's funny. That's really funny.
And that'll include also, I have all the structures drawn out on a flip chart that I've seen. And it's 4 pages that I've come across in my lifetime.
Wow.
So I will be doing a video, and that will be posted on the Facebook group on Facebook and on the domain.
That's
explaining everything.
Nice.
What to be looking for.
All right.
And that. And this is based on personal experience. And that's what people want them to understand. I do not watch Monster Quest. I do not watch Expedition Bigfoot, any of that, nor do I read about Bigfoot. Everything I talk about is based on personal experience that I've had through my lifetime.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool.
So I have formed my own opinions, and I have a very open mind because I want to know what I saw that day when I came out of Crystal Lake. It's a quest. Yeah, it's a quest for me. And we're getting close.
You're getting close to something, Ken.
Yes, we are.
I mean, if it's not Bigfoot, it is something that is not known by science in that area.
Right.
And that is probably one of the scariest things that I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, it's unknown.
Because it's not a little bunny rabbit.
Oh, God, I wish it was.
If it's 15, if it's like has 15-inch scat.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I can't wait to see what happens from this. Ken, it's been super fun chatting with you, but I want to make sure, did you have any closing thoughts?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
For you that are watching, the number one rule should be always keep an open mind and respect who is talking. They're the ones that experienced, unless you were there. Now, anybody in the area that can come, we welcome people to come to do these field researches. We may not find anything. We may find something. Think about you being there, and we actually get that final video photo, a clear video photo of a Bigfoot. And you're part of that.
Yeah.
But the key is be respectful, and you have to have an open mind. You can't block your mind to what you see. No matter what group it is, what program you see, you cannot have a closed mind. Because these people are also trying to get the answer. What is it? Does it Bigfoot date giant Pithecus? We'll know soon with the fossil results. Did the giant apes come out of North America to Asia? What happened to the European primate that went extinct?
Yeah.
So you're dealing something that's worldwide, from the Pendeka in Malaysia to the Yowie in Australia to the rock apes in Vietnam, to the Mako in Japan, to the black hairy man in Wales, to the man of the mist in Sweden. We're dealing with something that is unknown. This is where you have to have an open mind. You can't block this.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's respect others and have an open mind is one of the most important things you can do.
Yeah,
I agree.
And trust me, Jeremiah, once I get the final results, I will be contacting you.
Hey, and definitely, I appreciate that. And definitely will be talking to you again, I think. So
yeah, if we have a major breakthrough up in the Swan, you'll be one of the first ones. Well, the group will know, and you're part of the group, so you'll be aware of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
what's
man,
going,
that'd be
and
awesome.
Then we can decide to do another one, or which I'm sure.
That'd be awesome.
I got a feeling there'll be some more coming up.
Absolutely.
The way it's going, because we are getting there.
It's getting close, dude.
It's getting close, yes.
Can you take a few minutes and remind listeners how they can keep up to date with everything that you've got going on? And they'll definitely want to keep up to
Yes.
date with what's going on.
The group on Facebook is the Montana Bigfoot International Research Group. International is because we have 21 chapters all over the world that does field research. The domain is www. The Montana Bigfoot Group Research Group.com. I couldn't put international in there because it's too big.
Right.
Those
there
you
go.
monitor the domain that I'm redoing, and if you want to join the group on Facebook, answer the questions we ask. Answer them because you will get denied. My moderators are right on top of it, and we welcome everybody. We're not like a lot of groups. Oh, I got 35,000 members. That's not us.
Right. You're absolutely right. It is a smaller community, but it is a very cool community of Bigfoot researchers, enthusiasts, and it is a very, very cool group. I like it in there.
And look at Michael Young out of Malaysia, what he posts.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. It's some wild stuff, man.
Yeah, I've got stuff coming from all over the world.
Oh yeah. Well, Ken, thank you so much for chatting again. It has been a very enlightening night, and who knows what will happen next for sure.
Well, you're going to get it. So.
Oh yeah, I know it.
I'm glad you said, yeah, let's do this, because it is a lot of information. A lot has happened.
It's a lot. Yeah.
A lot has happened.
All right. Thanks for chatting, Ken.
Oh, thank you.